Welcome to this epic disaster.
Welcome.
This is Cheri speaking.
Welcome. Welcome.
That's Rick.
Yeah, I do. I'm co-welcoming.
Co-welcoming.
Welcoming. So when you talk about the podcast, do you say that you host a podcast or you co-host?
Co-host.
I always try to say co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's our podcast.
Yeah. It just sometimes it's a little wordy or something, but I do try to say that.
Well, like if I'm telling somebody, like, you know, when I've just met them and I say, well, I have a podcast.
Yeah, that's fine.
And my co-host and I,
yeah.
you know, we do it for ourselves.
Yeah,
mostly.
I mean, I think that's fine if you're referring to it and you just say my podcast or I have a podcast or I do a podcast or whatever. I don't think you have to clarify all that, but I do think that I always try to say co-host.
Yes.
So people know it's not just me.
It's not just you and you're not in control.
Even though I'm the best. I'm the better of the hosts.
Actually, things I've heard beg to differ.
Well, then I need to drown my sorrow in some beers.
All right, let's do that. So what we're drinking today is it's by Atlanta Brewing Company.
Now, last week we did Florida Man.
Yeah.
And this time we're moving up north just a little bit
to Atlanta.
To Atlanta Man or Atlanta Woman, as the case may be. I don't know.
And this particular brew is called Homestand.
We've done some Atlanta brewing before, but I don't think we've had this one.
I don't think so.
I hope
This
not.
is a Pilsner, which I prefer a Pilsner. Mm-hmm. It's 5.2% alcohol, so pretty basic. It's modern, dry hopped lager beer.
Okay.
And that's all it says.
You know what I think about it?
Is that what you think?
That's what I think about it.
Is that what you think?
Okay, I'm predicting it's going to be really white. Look at that. I was correct. I know my Pilsners.
It's a Pilsner. Mm-hmm. What do you expect? It's not going to be black.
Could be. You never know. Oh, they should have a black Pilsner. All right.
Nice one. You're getting better at that. Here, just for that. Let's see if I can do this.
It kind of smells like an IPA
right.
a little bit.
See if I can do this right.
A little bit like an IPA, kind of. All right, I'm going to taste it. All right.
What do you think?
It kind of tastes like an IPA. Are they trying to make Pilsners taste like IPAs now? See what I'm saying? It's a little floral. It's kind of like it tastes like roses.
It does have a floral taste to it. I did just get done drinking some coffee.
Well, me too, but still.
So I'm not sure if...
All right. Anyway, we'll talk about it as we go on.
Okay. We'll tell you what we think of it at the end. And this is our live beer review.
I just think it's weird. It tastes like an IPA to me. But, you know, people love IPAs. And I think beers, they're trying to make all beers taste like IPAs now for some stupid reason. It's just like people love Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know? And I hated Starbucks coffee when it first came into. I thought it was the worst coffee. I'm still not a huge fan. But sometimes it's all that's available. Mm-hmm. And it just tastes like it's burnt. But for some reason, everybody loves it. And so everybody in the world who has coffee wants their coffee to taste like Starbucks. And so everybody makes coffee that has no taste. It's just burned. Mm-hmm. It's like, really? Can you not taste any kind of, you know, different notes in coffee? So you just have to have it all burned so you can't taste it.
My favorite coffee when I was a daily coffee drinker, which I am not now, in Alaska, was a coffee company called Kaladi Brothers.
Okay.
And they're also, I think, in Colorado. So one brother's in Alaska, one's in Colorado.
All right.
I think that's how it works. I don't know. Maybe they have 8 brothers. Who knows? But, man, good coffee. And always busy because everybody thought it was good.
My favorite coffees for a while were Panera Bread had really good coffee. Really good coffee.
They still do.
I haven't had it in a while. And I used to go to Borders Books.
Yeah.
And Borders had their, I don't know if it was their own coffee or whatever, but Borders coffee at the time was really, really good. And I think Barnes & Noble, I could be wrong about it. No, Barnes & Noble had Seattle coffee. It was just called Seattle Coffee Company. And it was called that because they were trying to make it taste like Starbucks. But Borders was really good, had a really good flavor to it. So, but Borders is gone, and so is their coffee, and everybody's tastes like Starbucks.
What do you think about Pete's coffee?
I haven't had a lot of Pete's. I see it.
Yeah.
Here we have a company. Is it Caribou? No, not Caribou.
Yeah.
Is it? Caribou. And then there's a coffee place called Dancing Goats. Dancing Goat Coffee Place. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good. One of the things I like about, and it's probably every city, Atlanta has a lot of little independent coffee places where if you don't like coffee, you could just go. You don't have to go to Starbucks.
Yeah,
there are a lot of little places around.
What do they serve at Octane?
I don't know. Maybe their own brew. Maybe their own thing. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't been to Octane in so long.
I know, it's been a long time. And it's right by my house.
I liked it. When I first came here, my wife took me there a couple times, and I liked it. It was really crowded, though. Mm-hmm. And then I remember the Property Brothers did a house thing here, and they went there. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be good if the Property Brothers are drinking it.
I mean, if Drew and Jonathan will drink it,
then it's good.
I'll drink it. Yeah.
So I found out something this week.
What'd you find out?
I found out something I kind of want. I don't know if you know about this product.
I might not.
I'd never heard of it before.
I
mentioned it to my wife, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen those. I've never seen them. Have you ever seen a half bike?"
No.
I want a half bike.
What is it?
It's a half bike.
What half?
So
is it a unicycle?
It's based on the idea of a unicycle.
Okay.
Which is really weird because yesterday I went out to what do we do? Antique market. And they had a freaking unicycle.
Oh no.
I thought, oh man, that'd be cool. I don't know how to ride a unicycle.
You would get hurt.
I don't know. I think it's something I could do. I mean, not instantly, but so it was made and manufactured, designed, whatever, created in Belgium.
Okay.
And they decided they wanted to make a bike that was smaller, easy to get around on. So when I first saw it, I thought, wow, it looks like it reminds me of the Segway. So I looked it up while I was looking it up, but that's the half bike right there. So it was sort of based on that. So it's like almost like a tricycle.
So it's got 3 wheels.
It has 3 wheels. It has a main large wheel in the front and a kind of a large stand with handlebars on it. And it does not operate like a regular bike. So in order to turn, you do not turn the handlebars. You lean.
Like you would a motorcycle.
I guess. I mean, motorcycle, you can turn the handlebars.
Yeah, but you don't want to. You want to lean into a turn.
And they say the handlebars they go each side, but you can't actually swivel them.
Okay.
Like that. So anyway, yeah, and I've watched it. So anybody who's listening, you could look it up. Just go look up half bike, and you can watch videos of people riding them. So yeah, it looks like so much fun. You stand up. It's a standing bike, so you pedal while you're standing up.
So it's similar even to wow, we do a lot of
I think our show should be changed to what is that called?
Yeah, no, an elliptical. Similar.
That's for exercise.
This is for exercise too.
Well, but
and fun.
Elliptical is just okay. Whatever. I don't know. I can't say.
But but this has pedals that go around. The elliptical does that same motion while you're standing.
But it's for it just you go to a gym and use it, right?
Right.
This is for driving around through town.
I understand that, but it has the same motion.
I don't know if that's true.
The same body motion, not
possibly. I don't know.
Okay.
You just I don't. To me, elliptical, I thought it was like a bicycle, but I don't know. But you just ride it. You can ride it through town, and because it's so small. I mean, you can actually ride it in a crowded area and kind of like go in between people. You don't like, whereas a bike even, you have to be careful with that.
Yeah. And they have laws in certain areas where you have to ride your bike on the street, not the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I wonder what that would be for this.
People ride it in the street. But so every single person, like there are professional bike riders and mountain bike people and who were given these to try, and every single one of them say it looks easier than than
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah, this guy here says, for me, riding the half bike is the perfect sport. Why? It's a full body workout.
Yeah.
It's like running, cycling, and skiing at the same time.
Everyone who I've been reading who have done it have said that it's definitely a workout. But they also say it's very low impact on your knees.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. When I saw it, I was just like, that's for me. That's something I could do. That's something I would do.
Now, one thing I did not notice on that website that you looked up was price.
I priced them. So what they do is they kind of build it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you order it, they ask what your height is,
Right.
and that's what your weight is, and then your preferences and any kind of special things you want on the bike and colors and all that, and then they build it and send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to see what it was. So
Sure.
I put in my height, I put in my weight, and it came back $8.99. Which for a bike is not bad. I mean, there are bikes that are like $2,500 and
Yeah.
$5,000 and more.
Yeah.
So $8.99 for a really well built bike. Everyone who I read reviews said that it's really sturdy, well built. They're up to the third generation,
Mm-hmm.
and there are people who said that they're still riding their second generation. So they're well built bikes.
I wonder, this would be cool. Those bikes that you talked about that are $2,500 and like $3,000 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you're getting into like the mountain bikes and the
Or just professional
bikes.
people who are a little more serious about biking. Yeah.
I wonder if you could make one of these as rugged as a mountain bike.
They do have them for mountain bikes.
Do they?
That's one of the things that you choose. So are you going to be riding it on flat, like in the city, or kind of a mixture, or on hilly terrain, like on mountains and stuff? And so they build depending upon that.
Wow.
A lot of that depends on how they brake. It depends on how many speeds that they put on it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I want to get one. I think I'll fall on my ass if I try to ride it.
Probably.
But everybody who did it seemed like it took them about 10 to 15 minutes to get the hang of it. They all fell and kept falling. And then after a while, they were like,
They
so I
started
think
to
the problem
understand it.
was immediately is they were trying to ride it like a bike.
Yeah.
Everyone was trying to ride it like a bike. And everybody said, do not use the front wheel like you use the front wheel on a bike.
Yeah.
It's not for that. So that's kind of what they had to learn. And then once they learned it, they were like, okay. And then they figured it out. And then once they did it, they said it was so easy and so much fun.
Cool.
So
Cool.
kind of think I want one.
All right. If you get one, buy me one too, would you?
And I got a bike. And if I get one, I'm going to get rid of my bike.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be my bike.
There you go. Cool.
The other thing, I want one of those sit down bikes.
A recumbent cycle.
Yes. I want one of those.
The one, do you want a stationary or one that you can ride around town?
No, I never want a stationary.
Oh, okay.
I don't want. No, that's just exercising. I want one to go out and ride around in.
Okay.
Those are fun, and I did want one for a long time, but I just feel like those would be a little bit harder to get around people.
Yes, yes, because first of all, you're down here,
Yeah.
and people don't see you coming.
I took my bike to the Greenway, or Beltline, I'm sorry, in Atlanta, and man, that was fun driving around down there.
Be careful on the Beltline.
Well, it was crowded, a lot of people, fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't 2 a.m. So yeah.
Cool.
Would you rather? Let's play some Would You Rather.
I would rather play Would You Rather.
Drop a color stone. I will ask you a question that coordinates with the color stone. You answer it. I'll tell you if you got the question right or wrong, or the answer right or wrong.
Purple.
It's purple. Food and ingestion. Would you rather drink a cup of sewer water with no visible sewer? In other words, sewer water that's been strained. No little pieces of poop or anything in it.
Okay.
Or eat a cup of rancid and unidentifiable garbage.
Okay, first of all, what you just said before you read that question was you'll tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Yes.
But there's no right or wrong to
Oh,
Would
there
You
is.
Rather.
There certainly is.
I'm going to go with the garbage
That's the right answer.
because you can get diseases from the sewer water.
I mean, kind of. What would happen, though, and I think either way, you get diseases with garbage, too.
True.
If you eat garbage or if you drink sewage, either way, you would immediately vomit it up and you wouldn't have problems.
Okay.
I think that's what would happen. And now everybody's really glad they listened to the show.
Just throw your stone so I can ask you a question. I want to ask you a question.
Oh, I also got purple, huh?
You did. Okay. So would you rather lick the floor of a men's room?
Oh, I've done that.
What?
Not on purpose, but...
Or drink all the water from the ladies' room toilets?
I might go with that. All of the water?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could. How many bowls are there?
Let's just say there's
very
two.
Filling.
Let's just say there's two.
Lick the men's room is like the entire floor clean?
Yeah.
No, I can't do that. And plus I wouldn't. I think I would go with the bowl.
Okay. And it doesn't say if there's anything in the bowl, so I would assume there is not.
Whew. Now I'm a little nauseous there.
You drink toilet water, I'll drink sewage. Will be great.
Ugh.
It'll be fun. Don't you wish that we could tell more sewage water and toilet water jokes?
No. In fact, I think we should leave it immediately.
Okay.
I had a dream the other night you were in. So this doesn't even need, well, I don't think it needs interpreting, but I don't know why I dreamed it.
Okay.
So, but I did think about something about myself. So in my dream, I was married. And I went up to my wife and I told her that I thought we should take a break.
Oh no!
From each other.
Was it your current wife?
Yes.
Okay.
And I said we should take a break, and then I said, and I think that means we should not see each other at all.
Wow.
Not like we're taking a break and then we can still be friends. It's just like let's just not even.
Just take a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Hiatus, whatever you want to call it.
And she said to me, "I've been thinking the same thing."
Wow.
And then I guess I might have been a little mad about that. And I was just like,
oh, but she's not supposed to be mad, but you can be mad.
I'm not saying it's fair.
Okay.
And so later, I was in my office. I had an office in my dream.
Uh-huh.
I'm much more together in my dreams. I go
Apparently.
to the office and have a
you
job.
get your briefcase out, and yeah.
And we were talking, and I said, "Oh, by the way, if you want to talk to Maria, you're going to have to talk to us separately now." And you were like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, we're not together anymore."
So I was at your office?
Yeah, we were talking about something.
Okay.
I don't know why. And I just said, "We're not together anymore." And you were like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're going to have to go hang out with her, and then we can do our thing, and that's it. But then we're not, you won't be seeing us together."
So you used the phrase, "we're not together anymore," in your dream, not "we're taking a break."
Yeah, I think I just said, "We're not together anymore."
Wow.
Yeah.
That escalated quickly.
Well, that's what taking a break means. We're not together anymore.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, so I woke up. I don't remember how it ended. I don't remember any of the other stuff. I do remember. Oh, no, I do remember. After, I don't know, just a little while, I started realizing that I was wrong. I made a mistake. And I just remember thinking I need to call her. And then I thought, now I need to text her and say, I screwed up. I made a mistake. I didn't mean that. I don't want to break up. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I couldn't find my phone or something, but I just remember I was just like, I need to do that. And I was really upset about it. And I started thinking about like when I was really young, in relationships, and that it was like, and I think a lot of people do this, but it was like a thing I would do. I would try to break up, or I'd want to break up, just to see if the other person cared enough to want to, make it work. Like to at least say, I don't want to break up. Let's stay together. It's like, I want to fight for you. And if they were like my wife, who was like, I've been thinking the same thing, then it's just like, oh, okay. Well, now I know.
That is so manipulative and passive aggressive.
Yeah, that's what immature young people do.
You are correct.
So,
people with a low emotional IQ,
or just inexperience in relationships. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have done that kind of thing. Just break up to see if the person cared enough to want to get back together.
Wow.
I don't know that it was that conscious either. I think it was more like a more of a inner kind of unconscious thing. But now I know, because I can analyze my actions, reactions, and personality a little more.
Sure.
And
because you're 60.
Yeah, so I can kind of look, oh, wow, I would have done that. I would have been that immature.
When you were younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never do that now.
What's funny, though, is that you made an immature decision, and this is something you might want to look at. However, in your dream, you are more put together. You have a job and an office, etc.
Well, I'm not. I don't know that I was saying that I was doing that then. I'm just saying it reminded me that that's what I would have done when I was much younger. Yeah, I don't know that I was thinking of doing that then. Maybe I was. I don't know.
It's just weird that you made this
Yeah.
immature decision, but you were more mature in your professional life.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I went through a long time of just not remembering any dreams, and suddenly I'm remembering dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still, or have you ever taken melatonin before bed?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that now?
Rarely, but sometimes.
So have you noticed a difference when you take melatonin in your dreams?
No, I haven't paid attention. Why?
So my psychiatrist, I told her at one point I was taking like 15 milligrams of melatonin before bed, and she went, "Whoa." She's like, "That's
15. Yeah, that's weird.
That's too much, you know."
Yeah.
She said, she said, "I would recommend you don't take more than 1 milligram of melatonin before bed, because it's just you create melatonin yourself in your brain, and that's just kind of a Kickstarter or a supplement. It's not to be used as a replacement."
I think generally, just your personality is that.
Yeah.
If it says take 2, you take 22.
No, I would not.
Generally, that's what you do.
Well, okay, so these were 5 milligrams, so I was taking 3.
Yeah.
But now I buy the 3 milligrams and I try and only take 1.
Yeah.
Because I can't find a 1 milligram.
I don't even know. I can't. I guess it works. I think for me, Benadryl works better.
Well,
And you get the added benefit with Benadryl of it working for allergy stuff at night too. So that's good.
yeah, and I've done that as well. And then there's another thing about melatonin is I can take it during the day. I'll take 1 during the day, and it doesn't make me go to sleep, but it does kind of relax me. However, I've finally found some valerian root that I can afford, so I'm taking that instead. It's better for you, and it works better. But anyways, she asked me, when we were talking about how much melatonin I was taking at the time, she asked me, she's like, "And have you noticed your dreams are like out there?" And I said, "Yeah, now that you mention it, I have." So that's what can happen. If you take a lot of melatonin,
Really?
your dreams can be wacky.
Oh wow, I'm going to try it now.
I know. But you know, and I've continued to be aware of that, and I've continued to notice that when I wake up, I'm like, okay, that was a weird dream, but I did take melatonin. What I'm finding, and I'm having problems sleeping, what I'm finding is I will go to bed at a decent time, like 10 o'clock, and I will take a melatonin, a diphenhydramine.
That's what I'm saying. 22.
And I will go to sleep fairly quickly because of the diphenhydramine. And then I'll wake up 3 hours later. And then I can't go back to sleep.
I sleep pretty good.
I'm at that point, I guess, in my life where I'm not sleeping well, and there are things you can do to that will affect that, like you can exercise, because that does help with sleep. If you get your sleep patterns a little more regular, that helps. You know.
Listen to some ASMR. That's what I do.
No, I would never be able to.
That
sleep.
works really well.
I do.
Well,
listen.
you're already not sleeping, so
That's true. I did used to. I don't do it anymore, but I used to. Remember, I told you I used to listen to like audiobooks.
Yeah.
And I'd listen to the same one over and over and over again because I loved her voice.
Videos, man. Just watch. I mean, watch the walking videos. I know you may not be interested in Tokyo, but go to Scotland. Go to Ireland. Just watch people walking around. It's interesting.
I try to stop screens when I go to bed. I don't take screens to bed.
I understand that because sometimes that can actually affect you. You could set the screen to get rid of some of the blue filter. I mean, do a blue filter on it, but sometimes just watching the motion, and especially if it's monotonous, like walking or something, it might make you tired, sleepy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. So I have some dad jokes before I get into a story.
Man.
Yeah. Because you're going to need a little pick-me-up before and after this story that I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
I think I told these two last time, so I won't now. This one's cute. Why don't they make bread and pickles in the same factory?
Because, I don't know.
Because you'll end up with dildo. Come on. That's funny.
It's perverted is what it is.
All right. Do you know why melons have to get married in a big fancy wedding?
Because they can't afford a dildo? I don't know.
Because they cantaloupe.
Oh, I almost said it.
Cantaloupe.
Yeah, I almost said it.
Get it?
Yeah.
Cantaloupe?
Mm-hmm.
You almost did. All right. I just found an origami porn channel.
Oh, really?
It was pay-per-view only.
Oh.
Come on. That's a good one. All right, I'm going to save these last two for after my story that I'm about to tell you.
I can't find it quick enough.
Come on. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Hurry.
I was trying to find
Hurry.
this really quick. But I couldn't find it. I need to have it like programmed. Oh man, our show's off today.
It's a little off.
Our timing is off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too.
What's your story? What do you got?
So I watched a Netflix documentary that I want to talk about. I won't go into any like spoiler alerts.
Don't go into. I've been trying to find some good documentaries. I've seen a couple, but
it's called The Girl in the Picture.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I don't know.
Okay, so we watch the ID channel.
Right.
We watch it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that you and I are both interested, true crime.
Yes.
Right? So
and I've discovered, like, my wife and I've talked about this, and it's like the things that we like the most, it's not really necessarily that someone died or whatever, but we love the science of how they found out or how they find out how they died.
Not just the science, but
the
the investigation.
Yeah, that's why I love forensic files. That's the best.
Yeah.
I can watch that all night because it's all about the science.
I have watched it all night.
Yeah. I keep it on all night. Yeah. And some, the stories sometimes when it's, when you're finding out how someone died and all that, it's really sad and hard to watch, especially the video, like what's the video one? Where
See No Evil.
That's so interesting to me, but it's also so sad.
Yeah.
But when they start, like every once in a while, you'll find one and how they solved it, the science of how they solved it, so amazing. And they need an award. It's just like such really, really good science. And those I just love.
I really like the ones where, the crime happened a long time ago, and then the DNA finally caught up with what they needed, and it's sad that the person who committed the crime has been free the whole time, but being able to finally get them and find out who it was and give the family and loved ones some closure, I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So anyways, this documentary, The Girl in the Picture, is horrifying.
Oh.
It is just layer upon layer upon layer of what the fuck? And it's all about 1 to 3 people. It's not like about a bunch of people.
Now, is it more than one episode or just one? Just one
movie.
Okay. I like those.
It's like an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, what do I haven't seen it?
I don't know. But it is. I had to watch it in just trying to wrap your brain around what this one man did. Mm-hmm. Just wrapping your brain around it. It was so difficult to do.
Yeah.
And at one point, the case got so cold, they actually closed it. It was just like, you can't do anything with it anymore. They had, other stuff on the guy, but this one thing they couldn't, and so they closed the case. People retired, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to reopen this. I can't live with not knowing.
Yeah.
So they reopen the case. The FBI gets involved again. And there's a book about it too. I can't remember what the name of the book is, but it says in the documentary. And then finally they get him to talk. And it is just, you sit there afterwards and you're just like, how could this person be this cruel and this just out there. I mean, it's horrifying. It's
Right.
horrifying. But it's a really well-made documentary in the way that they relay the information, because they relay it as they're discovering it. You know, they don't tell you everything that happened at once, and then they don't wait till the end to tell you everything. They tell you in bits and pieces. So if you do need to take a break, you know, you can.
Okay.
I would highly recommend watching it for anybody who, you know, likes documentaries about true crime.
Okay. I'm definitely watching it.
Do it. It's good.
Even though I didn't find out much about it.
Well, I can't. It's hard to tell you much about it. It's about a man and.
What's the time period?
It's the time period starts probably back in if I remember correctly, the 60s. Now, for him, I think it starts back in the 60s. For the girl, I think it starts in the early 70s.
Okay. What part of the country? California?
No, it's actually mostly throughout Florida, Georgia, and
Oh, wow.
I want to say Alabama or Tennessee. I can't remember, but right in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah, it's good.
All right. I'll be watching then.
Oh, there is a part where they go to California, if I'm not mistaken. So they do make it across the country, but then they always come back to the
I don't
southeast.
know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I just can't think. There's not and this that probably doesn't apply to this documentary, but have you noticed there's not a whole lot of serial killers in this part of the country? It seems like most serial killers happen in California or the Northwest or things like that. You don't hear a lot of Georgia serial killers. I mean, I know that those kids in Atlanta years ago in the 70s, that was a serial killer, and supposedly they say Wayne Williams did it, and they arrested him, even though a lot of people don't believe he did it.
They just recently got the shopping cart killer in North Carolina.
I don't even know what that is.
He was active, like prolific.
Okay.
And he killed like 7
Shopping carts?
women.
Oh, with a shopping cart.
No,
I don't
and they call him that. I don't like it when they give serial killers names like that. I hate it. But the reason they call him that is the first victim that they discovered. I don't know if it was his first victim, but they discovered her behind a shopping cart on the side of the interstate.
It's like Nancy Grace, who just totally gets on my nerves, and she always has to come up with some kind of a cute name for the criminal. And like forever, and I can't remember who it was, but she called her the Tot Mom. I think it was Casey Anthony. I think that was what she called the Tot Mom.
That's just
and
ridiculous.
Over and over, that's what, and it just
it's annoying.
It made me want to be a serial killer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And just kill one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Over and over again.
Yes.
Wow. Mm-hmm. But I highly recommend it. If you're into it, watch it.
Okay. Okay. So I have a question.
Yep.
Do you have? Is this your personality? If you really like something, anything that you see, like a movie or listen to a great song or read a book or a TV show or whatever, and you really like it, are you the kind of person who reaches out to the person and tells them that you like it or say thank you or whatever?
I have done that, but not often.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier about the audiobook I used to listen to, and I did reach out to the company that puts it out because it's free.
Yeah.
It's like what's it called? Something domain. Public domain stuff, right. So it's free, and I reached out to them and sent this person an email, and they were like, "Oh, we'll get that to her right away," and they did, and she sent me back a thank you.
Yeah.
And then there's an actress in. I first saw her in Battlestar Galactica, the newer one, and then I saw her again in Travelers, And I just love her. I just love her to death. And so I found her on Instagram, and I just sent her a thing.
Yeah.
You know, Instagram. Who reads every comment? But she responded.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about social media. Is like, you know, years ago you couldn't do that,
right?
And now you're much closer to people like that. And even like Twitter, you can almost do it instantly. But then they can choose who they respond to.
Right.
They can be like, oh, that person's a stalker, or this person, I just want to say. Now
that you mention it, there was another Battlestar Galactica actor that I reached out to on social media, and he responded to me.
Right.
And then I wrote, "Oh my God, he responded," or something like that, and put a picture up or whatever. And then he posted that my comment about him responding, and he's like, "This could go on forever."
I'm definitely that kind of person, and I have been my whole life. Like I wrote. Well, of course, my early letters were probably wrong. So, like, I wrote a letter to Batgirl and asked her to marry me.
Okay, that's a little stalkerish.
Yeah, and then
But what were you, like 16?
Huh?
How old were you?
Like 5.
Oh, okay.
Or 6.
Okay. Well, you were very naive.
Well, everybody, I think, kind of is.
I mean,
who writes to them.
Well into your 20s, you were very naive.
I don't even know what that means. But anyway.
Okay.
And then when I was in, what is 5th grade?
Like 10?
I think when I was in 5th grade, I sort of, I don't think I did it like directly, but I sort of hinted to Marie Osmond that I wanted to marry her. But I wrote them both a letter, Donnie and Marie, because I really liked their show at the time.
Right.
But I've always been the kind that would write fan letters.
Yeah.
And I would get fan letters back. I didn't do it like obsessively. I mean, I didn't do it to everybody, but I don't have a problem and didn't have a problem then. But I tend to do it even now more with books. Like if I read a book that I really, really like, I don't know. I feel like authors are a little more accessible. And so if someone writes a book that I like, I'll go to their website and just send them an email saying I liked it, or tell them, you know, how I felt or whatever.
Right.
A lot of times I'll get it back.
Oh, that's nice.
Get an email back. So I was reading a book a few days ago, and I really liked it. It was very helpful, and I wrote to the author and told him, and then we had a little discussion back and forth through email about it. So
nice.
I feel like that's kind of something that a lot of people probably don't do, but.
Well, you know, like at book signings and stuff, you can they have like Q&As, or even like little receptions after the signing, or after, like, especially with readings, if an author is doing a reading, they'll have like a little reception or something afterwards, and the author sticks around to talk to people.
Yeah.
So I mean, most of them do. I'm sure some of them don't. But you know, they, like you said, they are a little more accessible in that way as well, like even in person.
I'm not going to go into names and stuff, but I have done that through Facebook. People just, I don't know, sometimes kind of random people that I've enjoyed seeing on TV or something, sent them a message, and I've actually become friends. I'm actually like, we could hang out, and one of them did call me and said, I'm going to be in Knoxville. That was back when I lived there. And let's have lunch. And we did. We got together for lunch, just hung out. It was fun. And this person is somebody that, I mean, I've known now for, I don't know, 15 years, maybe that long. Wow. And and I just feel like we're buddies. We're good friends. We just, whenever we want to, we'll just, I won't hear from this person for months and months and months, and then we'll just chat for a long time, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I actually have a friend that I met because I saw her in a movie.
Yeah. And
I hit her up on Facebook, and she accepted my friend request. And we are friends now, and we've talked about visiting each other. You know, life happens, and then COVID happened, and so it just hasn't happened yet. But I still expect that it will, you know, and I hope she does too. And it's just funny the way it worked. You know, we would just kind of like each other's stuff back and forth on Facebook, and then one night I was just like, hey, you know, we've been doing this for 4 or 5 years. Why don't we actually try and be friends, like actual friends? And we chat back and forth about life and all kinds of stuff now. So yeah, I do consider her an actual friend now.
Yeah, and that's kind of weird. One of my favorite bands back in the 80s that I was just obsessed with. I loved them so much. Never got to see them live, but, you know, I had every album they made. I watched some video, you know, all their videos and then concert stuff. And then, you know, as they got older and their careers sort of mellowed out a little bit. They still perform. But I don't know how. Well, I do sort of know how. But I got connected with the lead singer of the band on social media, and he started just commenting on things on my Facebook page, just out of the blue. I was like, "Holy crap, this guy," you know. And then we've become friendly, and it's so weird how social media, and I think age and time will do that too. I mean, you know, you're not going to be able to, you know, reach out to Harry Styles and chat with him.
I wouldn't
right now. I mean, some people will, but when he's in his 50s,
maybe
you might be able to.
Yeah.
It would be so much easier to, maybe this is a bad example, but it'd be so much easier probably to reach out and communicate with Neil Diamond now.
I would do that.
Than it would have been at the peak of his career.
Yeah.
People are a little more accessible, I think, you know, as they're, and I'm not saying he doesn't have many fans. He's like Elvis. He's got a lot of fans. But an 80s band, for instance, and this is not, also probably not the greatest example, but you could probably reach out to Paul Abdul and get a response back.
Maybe.
Now, better than you would have been able to back then.
Maybe.
When she was there.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I just wondered if you were that kind of person, because I am, and I've always felt that I'm a little weird that way. But I love it with our show. We're not even celebrities, but it's I that people take time out to mention or talk up to us, or something. It's fun. It's just like, these are the people who enjoy what we do. And if your career is constantly making things for people to enjoy, I feel like that's just part of that.
You want to know that they're enjoying it.
Yeah, that's just part
and
of
it's
it.
nice to hear.
And then some of them are jerks, you know, but I think that's probably rare.
I mean,
when you've got
people are people, so you're going to have,
trying to eat and 100 people are interrupting your food.
Yeah,
that might get on. After a while, you know, you might not want that.
Especially like in person. If you're sitting at a restaurant and people just walk up to your table, that's a little rude.
Yeah.
It's a little rude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay. Anyway, I just wondered. That's not a lot.
Now, I've only done that kind of thing maybe a handful of times.
Walk up to?
No, the reaching out to people on social media.
Oh, yeah. Well, now, I mentioned this to you, and I think we talked about it on the podcast a while back. I was at the Georgia Ren Fair, and we were at one of the little pubs at the Ren Fair, and I'm sitting there, and I looked over, and there's this guy sitting there, and I told my wife, I was like, I know that guy. I don't know why I know that guy, but I know that guy. And I stared, and I was just, I didn't want to be like, you know,
creepy.
Yeah, but I knew he was somebody that I knew, but I couldn't think of who he was. And for some reason, boom, it just popped in my mind. I was like, that guy is Pink's drummer. He's the drummer for Pink, Mark Schulman. And I remember him because I like watching him. And I have a concert video that I've watched a million times, and I just knew
that's
it was
where
him.
You recognized him.
And so I told my wife, I was like, that's who that is. And I felt better. I knew.
Did you start stalking him around the Ren Fair?
No, we were walking around, and then later I saw him out again. And I just said, all right, hold on, I'm going to go. And I went up and I said, are you Mark Schulman? He said, yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, I knew that was you. I just saw you, and I just wanted to say hi. And he said, are you a drummer? And I said, no. And then he looked kind of weird at me, like, how would you know me?
How would you know me?
And but anyway, Pink was doing a show in town, and I don't know, he's with some friends, and he just went to the Ren Fair.
Cool.
That was so interesting. But he was so cool about it. And so, you know, some people are like that. You quote celebrities, you meet them in person, and they'll chat with you. Other people is like, okay, whatever, get away.
Yeah. And you've been walked up to.
Oh, man, that's fun. Yeah, but I'm not a celebrity.
You're not a celebrity.
But I can remember the very first time. I wish I remember the guy's name. I don't even know if he listens or whatever. But this was during the Year in the Kilt, and I think you were there.
I was.
We were at the Maryland Renaissance Fair, and
he knew both of our names.
Yeah, some guy. It was before the podcast even, but it was some guy who was young in his 20s, and he was just like, "Are you the Year in a Kilt guy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I'd never been recognized before, and here I was in Maryland, and somebody recognized me.
And then also at the Georgia one, you actually
I had to call security on him.
No, you didn't. You actually announced on your Facebook page or something, or maybe we mentioned it on the podcast that we were going to be at the Ren Fair.
Oh yeah,
anybody wanted to come and say
totally,
hi,
and they did,
and they did.
Yeah, back then we wanted people to come up and say hi to us.
Yeah.
Get publicity.
We still do.
Oh yeah, I never mind now. Okay.
So before we close this podcast down.
Are we closing?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the beer, but before we talk about the beer, I have 2 more dad jokes for you. Because people love dad jokes.
Who?
Me?
Who comes up to you and says, "Are you the dad joke girl?"
Nobody.
All right, no one does because they don't like it.
But people have written in and said they like my dad jokes.
They're trying to be nice.
I don't think that's it.
All right.
They don't write in and say, "I like Rick's story about Alaska."
No, they never say those things.
Okay. So, here we go. There's only 2, so it won't take long.
Okay.
Someone emailed me pictures of their genitalia.
This is supposed to be a dad joke, not a real thing.
It was junk mail.
Oh.
Get it. Do you get it? They showed me their junk.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. One more. And this one is maybe not suitable for work.
Oh, okay.
So if children are listening, make them do earmuffs. How do you cancel an appointment at a sperm bank?
I don't know.
You call them and tell them you can't come.
Oh, okay.
See, you like that one.
No, I'm just trying to make you feel better.
Oh.
That was a junk joke.
2 junk jokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one more story really quick. This morning, this really happened this morning, about probably 4 in the morning. I'm in bed and I heard a crash. Now, people probably know just from listening to us that I have a lot of animals in the house. So we have 2 dogs in the bed. Mm-hmm. I have 3 cats. Mm-hmm. I did have 2, but we took in another cat, mm-hmm. an old guy, mm-hmm. and he was laying right there next to us. My girl Kitty, right there on my chest, sleeping. Mm-hmm. So that only leaves one
cat, and now, I know who it is.
Atticus is our cat that we adopted last year. Mm-hmm. He is a gigantic kitty. He's very, very fuzzy, solid black. I say black, he's mink. I would call him mink. He's black, but he also has some like really, really chocolatey.
He's got some chocolatey undertones, but then he also has some silvery.
Little bit, but if you look at him, you would think he's just solid black.
Yeah.
But and he's a mess. He's a raccoon. He's a scoundrel.
He does what he wants.
Pretty much. But the thing about Atticus is he can't stop eating, really. He just likes to eat a lot. Mm-hmm. So he's usually getting into things and trying to, like, he's gotten into, my wife will have English muffins. He'll bite into them and eat English muffins. He'll just rip open the bag.
Cats do that.
Yeah.
They like bread.
I know.
I don't understand that.
So I heard a crash and I was just like, oh, what's Atticus doing? And so I had to get Jenny off of me, and I got up and I went into the kitchen and I saw him running into the living room with this giant bag in his mouth. And I went into the living room, and he had gotten onto the right in the middle of the carpet, and I reached down. I could see he had a bag in his mouth, and I reached down and I picked up the bag. I took it away from him, and I went into the kitchen, and he had a full bag of popcorn that he had stolen from the counter and was going to try to take it and eat it.
He was going to eat the popcorn.
Why? When does a cat like popcorn kernels? I mean, it wasn't popped popcorn. It was like
just the kernels.
Yeah. And he's dragging a giant bag of popcorn in his mouth.
Maybe he's just like, oh, this is different. I wonder what it is.
I know that, some cat food has fillers and they put some corn and stuff in it.
Sure, but not hard corn kernels.
No, what did he think? I don't know if he thought it was kibbles or I just don't know.
I don't know.
I've never seen a cat with a bag of popcorn in his mouth running across the floor. But Atticus did. All right, let's go ahead and stop. Let's talk about the podcast. The beer.
Okay.
Before we talk about the beer, let's tell people how they can get in touch with us.
Okay, you can reach us at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com for email. Mm-hmm. You can find us on Facebook at This Epic Disaster. Yep. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find our podcast pretty much anywhere you can download podcasts.
Yeah. We're also online. thisepicdisaster.com. That's our website.
Which you've been working on recently.
Yep. Got it all updated, except the latest one, which I'll do immediately.
Yeah. Also, by the way, those people who were expecting our show to come out on last Monday and it didn't come out until Tuesday.
That's usually me forgetting.
That's just Rick forgetting. Yeah. Okay.
All right. That's it.
Thanks for that. So what do you think of the beer?
Not my favorite. It tastes like an IPA. I hope they're not making Pilsners like this now. No,
you know
I
what?
Just don't care for it.
For me, it just kept getting better and better.
Really?
And better. Yeah. I don't know why. Mine's gone.
Yeah. I was thirsty, so I wish it was a better beer. I was going to drink it. It's not worse. I mean, it's not the worst beer I've ever had.
Right.
It's not exactly an IPA, but it's too close to an IPA and more close to an IPA than a Pilsner, I feel like. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I'm giving it a 2. Not my favorite.
I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Wow, you liked it. You can have the rest of them. I'll take them all home.
Okay. No, I probably shouldn't. You save them for the gallery.
Yeah, people like them at the gallery. We've had some of Atlanta Brewing stuff before. I kind of like them, but this one, I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to make an IPA Pilsner taste like an IPA. But anyway, wasn't my favorite, so I'm not giving it a high rating.
Well, there you go. One last thing, please keep your ears open for, anything we might be doing in the near future that we're kind of planning right now a little bit.
Yeah, we have mentioned we're doing a Halloween thing.
Yeah.
We're doing a Halloween show. We'll talk more about it. I don't know what. So a lot of times what we do is we take stories from our listeners. And recently we get none, maybe one.
Maybe.
And so we appreciate the one that we get.
Always.
Yeah. And I understand not everybody's got time to do it.
Nope.
Not everybody wants to do it. If people don't think they're good enough to do it or whatever, that's fine. So this year I don't think we're going to ask for submissions. If people want to send a submission, they certainly can.
Go for it.
But this one is going to be more like a moth style storytelling, and it will be live. It'll be in person, and we will probably record it and make it a podcast. That's what we're planning on anyway.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So, but we'll tell you more information about it as we go along. We're formulating it now, and it's going to happen in the gallery.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So now you know that. Keep your ears open for that. In the meantime, Rick and I are going to go eat.
Yeah, we're going to go eat cat popcorn.
No, we're not.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.